Once again, I welcome you to this wonderful series called TechBiz Series. TechBiz Series is an informational e-learning series that's meant to stand you out from every entrepreneur. So we welcome you here again. TechBiz Series is one of the many programs run by Co-Innovation Center. And the Co-Innovation Center, just like TechBiz Series, is here to help you to build, to adapt and thrive. And one of the programs we do run to help you build, adapt and thrive is called The Art of Technology. So The Art of Technology is a program that's going to hold on December 3rd and the 4th. And The Art of Technology is going to feature some of the world's most important decision makers, power brokers, and a lot of people that make big things happen. If you would like to be part of the conversation that moves things forward in the tech ecosystem and the entrepreneurial ecosystem, I'd encourage you to register for AOT Lagos. AOT Lagos, the registration for AOT Lagos is completely free, and you'll get access to the likes of Ibukuna Woshika, Tommy Davis, Lisa da Silva, and of course, the more interesting ones like Mr. Michael Siebel, who is the CEO and partner at Y Combinator, one of the world's largest accelerators. So without further ado, let's get to the topic of today. I'd like to welcome Ms. Mayowa Adeoti. So Mayowa Adeoti is an e-commerce expert, and she's the head of operations at Website Chick Services. So I give the floor to you, Mayowa Adeoti. Um, you're going to take us on how to grow our sales using e-commerce. So over to you, Ms. Mayowa. We can't hear you. Can you please unmute yourself?
Okay. Yes. Hey, everyone. Trust we are all doing good. And I want to thank Eco Innovation Center for having me on this program today. I will be, can I share my screen now, Elvis?
Yes, you absolutely can. You absolutely
Okay,
can, for sure. Miss Amma Mercy, no problem. We can have your questions after she's done with the presentation, okay? In the meantime, feel free to interact in the chat box and react to anything Miss Adeoti says. So, Miss Adeoti, you have the floor.
All right, thank you. I'm going to be discussing how we can grow our sales using e-commerce. A lot of people in the business world nowadays, it is very, very, very important to understand and how it can help your business. E-commerce has come to stay. And if you are still not taking advantage of all the goodies that e-commerce has brought into the scene, then you're actually shortchanging yourself. So you have not plugged into e-commerce, you should be looking at how you have to position your business to start making profit from e-commerce. For the benefit of those that do not really know what e-commerce is, I'll start from the beginning. But first, I'll introduce myself. My name is Mayowa Adeoti. I am a digital transformation expert. I help small and medium scale businesses make sense of technology. I help them to leverage the power of technology and use it to make profit online. Yeah, so back to our topic for today. What is e-commerce? In a very simple layman's term, e-commerce is when you buy and sell, but you do it online. So exactly what happens at local market, at markets, at what happens at your neighborhood supermarket, the buying and selling, exchange of money, but it is done online. That is what e-commerce is. The first e-commerce transaction by a guy named Phil Brandenberger. I don't know if I pronounced that name very well. He used his Mastercard to buy Sting Ten Summoner's Tales, like a song of some. So he bought it for $12.48 pence, 48 cents, sorry. In 1994, that was when it started spreading all over the world. And now e-commerce is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Fortunately, we are in one of the weekends that e-commerce does the biggest sale in every year, year in, year out. The biggest e-commerce sales is always recorded this weekend, which is the Thanksgiving and Black Friday weekend, because that is when most people, run discounts and sales on their products. I'm sure many of us would have been seeing a lot of, ads online where people say, oh, Black Friday discount, Black Friday discount. Black Friday is tomorrow, and it is kind of a day that all business owners, especially retailers, have kind of taken as their own. So everybody, as long as you have a discount to give, target Black Friday and you're sure to make a lot more sales than you would make on a normal basis. And it is kind of becoming a tradition also for the consumers. So when it is October, oh, let me start saving my money for Black Friday, because you know that the Black Friday weekend, you are going to get very good deals, on the things that you normally buy. So most consumers around the world are already getting conditioned to the fact that, oh, there's a weekend where you get crazy discounts on stuffs. So you can just buy the things you need to buy in bulk during the Thanksgiving weekend, which is Black Friday weekend. So, a lot of money, pass through the commerce system in the world, especially during this weekend. So for those of you who are into business, maybe you're a retailer or a service provider, whatever kind of business you do, as long as you exchange value with money, then you should be thinking about how you can also key into getting the best of such time like this. A lot of money is going to be passed between ants this weekend. Where is your own? Are you going to be getting some of that dough? Yeah, so that's a background on e-commerce. So we have several types of e-commerce models, we have different kind of businesses. And so because of that, we also have models for e-commerce. I'm going to be going briefly into each one. The first one is B2B. What is B2B? B2B is business to business e-commerce. Business to business e-commerce model simply means when a business does business with another business. So for example, my kind of business is a B2B. I do B2B e-commerce because I can tell you for a fact that 90% of my clients come from online. I get 90% of my clients online because I have positioned myself on several platforms to ensure that I am visible, to the kind of people that will need my services. So I am a business, and all my customers, all of them are also businesses, because what I do is I help small and medium scale businesses to make sense of technology and, help them make profit from the technology. I'm a business that serves businesses. That is B2B e-commerce. And they pay me, like I said, doing the business online, we exchange value for money. Now, the next model is the C2C e-commerce. So C2C e-commerce is the consumer to consumer e-commerce. I think I should have rearranged this. Before I talk about consumer to consumer, let me talk about the business to consumer first. So business to consumers are the kind of e-commerce business where you as a business are selling to direct consumers. So a good example of this would be a fashion business. For example, you are into fashion, you sell fashion items, maybe you sell dresses, or you're even a service. You can be a service and you sew dresses, you offer your tailoring services. You are mostly a business to consumer because the people buying from you are directly consumer. They consume your product, they consume your services. So your own model of e-commerce will be business to consumer. I'll go back to my previous slide, which is the consumer to consumer. So consumer to consumer is when a consumer does transaction with another consumer. So you might be thinking, so how is this possible? Well, in these days it is, and I'll give a perfect example of that would be when you have a business. For example, you have a business that you do, and then you look for an influencer online. You want the influencer to promote your product. So the business between you and the influencer is business to business, most likely, because the influencer also has a business where they influence, right? The business between both of you is business to business. But the business between you and the people that will see your ad on the influencer's page and do business with you is consumer to consumer, because you consume the content of the influencer. That is why you are able to place an ad with the influencer. And then the other people who are your fellow consumers, you are trying to reach out to people who are your fellow consumers that consume the influencers content together. So it is consumer to consumer. Another example of this is the classified sections of newspapers, where they put their ads and all that, or a platform like eBay. eBay allows people to come and sell their, for example, used items, items that you've had in your house that you're not using, you want to put it out and all that. You are all consumers on eBay, but you are trying to connect with other. So that is consumer to consumer e-commerce model. As I'm saying all those things, as business owners, I expect us to start thinking about the kind of service we offer and the kind of e-commerce, if you are not yet into e-commerce, then what is the kind of e-commerce you're supposed to be practicing? If you are currently doing e-commerce, it doesn't mean that your model has to be only one. You can your type of business can be a combination of these different models. And be a combination of these different models. You can be a B2B and also be a B2C, meaning you can be a business to business and also be a business to consumer e-commerce business. So we also have consumer to business e-commerce model. This is when consumer to business, I'm trying to look for a good example for consumer to business model. Consumer is when, for example, a business is paying you as the consumer to give a review, for example. So
That's interesting.
Cadbury. Helvis, did you say something?
No, I said that's very interesting. Go on.
Yes.
Please.
Yes, consumer to business e-commerce. So for example, Cadbury comes to me as a consumer and gives me a whole pack of their products to consume, and also tells me, would you think about giving us a review? And then I say, oh, okay, you have to pay me for me to give you a review. Or they come to me and say, oh, if you like it, we'll pay you to give us a very fabulous review online, for example. That is another form of e-commerce. I am a consumer, but you are paying me to consume your products, because when I consume your product, I also give you another service which you pay me for. So that is consumer to business e-commerce model. Now, as a business owner, another question you should be asking yourself is, how do I move my business online and start one of these e-commerce models? So if currently everything you do is offline, if what you do is offline, when you exchange value for money, you do everything offline, then you are late. You are a late comer. You have come late, but the fact that you are a late comer does not mean you can still not overtake those that you know have already been on the scene for several years. You can still come and overtake us. How that will happen is if you do your research very well, you have your plan, you know, you understand exactly what you're going to do online. You are not like the people that, oh, really? So people are going online now. Let me go online too, without doing your absolute best to understand the strategy and the platforms, the usage of each platform that you're going to use to do the e-commerce business. So what you need to identify now is, what are the platforms that are available for me to start e-commerce? What are the best strategies that I need to use to ensure that I reach the right people, the people that have my money in their pocket? You know, what are the strategies I need to use to get to them and collect the money? Because that is your end goal as a business owner, to collect the
Absolutely.
money. Yeah, so yeah, some of the platforms you can use to enter into e-commerce is social media. You know, there are several social media platforms, and all of these social media platforms have commerce abilities. Yes, you can create business accounts on most of these platforms and do business via these platforms. Facebook, Instagram, I'm sure if you're on Facebook and Instagram today, you know that people are doing business. Millions every month, millions every month on Facebook, on Instagram. What you need to do is, if you do not already have a personal account on any of those platforms, you create a personal account on Facebook. Facebook also owns Instagram. So even though I highlighted them differently, they are more or less owned by the same entity, though they are different applications, but they are being controlled by the same company. So you create an account on Facebook, then as a personal account, then you create a business account called a business page. When you create your business page, it's going to tell you all the things you need to fill in and all that. When you have that, you connect on Instagram. You also create an account the same way, and then you connect your account, your business page on Instagram, you connect it with Facebook. You cannot have a business account on Instagram if you do not have a business page on Facebook. It is compulsory for you to have both. And then when you have that, the rest is for you to go and learn how to market on these platforms. You know, there is an art to social media marketing, which is not what I am here to teach today. So I won't be going into detail into that. But the first thing you need to do is get your business pages ready, and then you start, you know, you start the marketing. The same thing goes for Pinterest. You know, you create a Pinterest account. There are so many tools specifically made for business owners on these platforms. The same thing for TikTok. TikTok may not have completely moved to provide tools for business owners and all that, but it is gradually moving to that. And before, I know that in the next few weeks and months, we'll be hearing news of how you can properly use TikTok for business also. So these are some of the those are some of the social media platforms that you can do e-commerce on. And now, before I forget, it doesn't matter what kind of business you do. for my modeling options that I discussed, the B2B, B2C, C2C, all these models, you will see that there's no business that does not fit into e-commerce. Whether you provide service or you sell, or you are a retail business, even when you are a non-for-profit, there is a space for you. There's a space for you, because even if you're a not-for-profit, you still collect donations. You still collect donations and all that, and you can do all this online. So as long as you exchange a form of value for money, you can do it online. It doesn't matter whether you're selling products or you're selling services. So the next platform that you can do e-commerce from, this is very important. I mentioned social media first because that should be your first call. That should be the first thing that you do, creating a social media account and, setting that up. The next thing you want to do is to get a website. So whether you are a service business or a product business, you must have a website, because it is like your website is your own address in the World Wide Web. That is why when you want to see a website, for example, my website is www.websitechick.biz, so that is my personal brand website. My company website is different. It carries the name of my company. You understand? So as a business, you have to have a space online, just like you will have a physical shop or a physical office where you transact business offline. The same way, you should have a space online that you call your home, and that is where your name, whatever name you want to be known as online, that is where it comes in. To get that, you need to get a domain name, and you need to get what we call hosting. Your domain name is the unique name that will only be known to your business. When you've bought a domain name, as long as you continue to pay the yearly rent, so to speak, it's a rent because you're renting a space online. You're renting the usage of that name for the year that you pay for it. So as long as you continue to pay that money, you are the owner of that name. Nobody else can buy that name. They can buy something similar, but not that name. Just the same way when you register your company with CAC, nobody can, right? It's the same way with a domain name. So you get a domain name and then you buy a space to host your website files. That is when you'll be able to, your website developer can now design a website for you and put it. Now, when you are ready to, okay.
Sorry, real quick, can you just recap what you just said that the website developer will do? Your audio went off.
Oh, my audio went off. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so yes. I said after you have your domain name and your hosting set up, which you pay for, you can then you can either buy this by yourself, or your web developer will advise you on, okay, I'm going to buy this for you. This is that, But the most important thing is you must have your domain and your hosting. Now, the next thing is for you to now tell your web developer to design your website. So when he has designed it, he will now pay that you have paid for. Like I said, it's an annual payment. So after your website developer has designed the website, why did I use he when I'm supposed to say she? Apologies, I'm very sorry. She will place it. Yeah. So that's about having a website. Your website must be able to do two major things for you. And this is something very common in this part of the world. A lot of business owners, because they don't know different, they just take what they get. So one of my core focus, as a person and as a business, is to educate business owners on what a website should be able to do for them. Your website is not a signboard. It is not a signature. It's something where you just have your name that people should just go and read. Oh, we open.
Your audio, please. Your audio. Your audio.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I don't know
Yes.
how I got muted.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. Continue, please. So
Okay,
you were basically telling us how, our websites have to have functionality. So continue.
yeah, so I was saying that your website must be able to do two things for you. I'm going to explain the two things. It is very common in this part of the world that people use their website as just a signboard. So because of that, they don't see the importance of a website. They are like, a website, is it not just for people to see the name of my company and see that I have a website? No, your website, it should be much more valuable than that. But it is very difficult for you to be able to communicate this to your developer if you don't understand what your website is supposed to be doing for you. So your website should help you to generate leads. What is a business without leads? Whether you're a service business or a product business, you must continually generate leads. That is the lifeline of your business. If you don't generate leads, then you don't have a business, because it is the leads that you generate that will turn into customers, and it is the customers that will give you the money that you desire. It is very important that your website has lead generation capability. So tomorrow or next tomorrow or whenever you want to go and talk to a web developer, tell your web developer, I want my website to generate leads for me. Very, very, very important. The next thing is that your website should be able to follow up on the leads that it generates. So when people visit your website, they shouldn't be visiting your website just to read the information that you have. That is also very important. Of course, you want to pass across the necessary information to the people that visit your website, all the information they need to know about your business. So, but after they have consumed that information, what is the next step? Do you just want them to go and forget about you forever and ever? No. Anytime any prospect get to know about your business, it is your duty as the business owner to turn that prospect to a lead. It is when the person becomes a lead that you can follow up on them and finally convert that person to a customer. So the main job of a business is to do this. And there are several tools that can help you do that. One of them is your website. I would repeat once again that your website is not a signboard. It is supposed to perform this kind of actions for you. So it should help you. So for example, let me give an example. So I don't just, let me give an example. For example, if you go to, I'll use all these big corporations, I'll use them as an example. If you go to their website, except a corporation that has not actually transformed their processes digitally. If they have transformed their processes digitally, when you get to that website, you will see several options. You will see places where they will ask you to sign up for their newsletter. You will see places where they will ask you to download a case study. So a case study of the kind of business they do. So you're there on the website to look for more information, to see what they are doing and all that. They will not just leave it at that. They will ask you to download a case study. So when you want to download the case study, they will ask for your details. So you put in your name, you put in your email address. Most times, you have turned to a lead. They have collected your details. And now, because of the most times they will even have more than one case study for different departments or categories of services that they offer. For example, when you download a case study, they already know what you are interested in. You have become a lead and they have scored you because now they know what kind of business or what kind of business you're interested in doing with them. The same thing for product sellers. If you have an e-commerce website, for example, when people come, get their details, offer them a discount, welcome them into the family. We are glad you are here. Would like to give you 10% first-time shopper discount. Even though maybe they are on your e-commerce website, for example, to just window shop. A lot of us do that. We do window shopping before we finally decide to buy whatever we want to buy. So your website must be able to generate leads for you, and you must be able to follow up. Your website should also be able to follow up on these leads. So what it means is that your website must be integrated with an email marketing platform. So an email marketing platform are platforms that they are apps, they are web applications that are created for the sole purpose of helping businesses to send bulk emails. So for example, if you want to send email to 1 or 2 or 3 people, you go to your Gmail account or your Yahoo account or your business official email to send the emails. But it doesn't work like that for a business, especially when you have to send bulk emails and when you have to send emails based on intuition and logic. So these email marketing platforms have been created to be able to handle this kind of scenarios. So your website must be integrated with such platforms so that when you collect a lead, for example, the platform has been programmed to say, anytime you get a new lead, send this email, welcome the person, and just do this, do that. 24 hours later, send another email, ask them to book a discovery session with our marketing team or with our whoever, depending on what kind of business you do, So 1 week later, follow up with them and ask them about so. All this you don't have to do manually. It can't be totally automated. And your website will know, based on the logic that has been programmed into it, to follow up. Anytime a lead is generated, it has several logics that has been programmed into it, and it knows what to do when a logic is triggered. It knows what to do immediately. And then your website must be optimized for search engine. When I go to...
Hold on, please. Before you go on, I would like you, they were listening, and for the lead follow-up, I assume some of those email marketing, to do email marketing, you might need some platforms. So do you mind mentioning some platforms some members of our audience can use to do that?
Yes. Okay, so yes, there are several platforms. I'll mention my own platform first. I'm not selfish. I just have to let you know. Yes, and that is trainerskit.com. Yes, it does this for you beautifully. Trainerskit.com. Other platforms you can use are ConvertKit. Another one you can use is MailChimp. They are, we have plenty. And sometimes your use case might actually determine which of these platforms would be okay for you.
Maiwa, do you mind quickly spelling your kids so that do you mind spelling the URL so that our audience can see it for themselves?
That's www.trainers, trainers, like somebody training.
Okay.
Trainers Kit, KIT.
All right.
Trainerskit.com. And then we have others that I mentioned are ConvertKit, like when you convert something, ConvertKit.com. And then MailChimp, MailChimp. We also have SendFox, like I said, plenty.
Yes, absolutely.
Use case will determine.
Yes, that's very good. Okay, please continue on search engine optimization.
Yeah, so search engine optimization means, for example, when we need something, when we don't know something, let me put it that way, when we don't know something, nowadays, the first thing you would think about is Google. Even my 4-year-old, when they don't know something right now, she'll be telling her sister, Google it now, like it is the default. When you don't know something now, you just know that you have to Google it. So the question is, when people Google their problems and your business is a business of providing solution to that problem. Will they find you on Google? When I Google my problem, and you as a business, you have the solution to my problem. When I Google my problem, will I find you on Google? That is search engine optimization. Your website has to be optimized so that it will rank very well for the keyword in your industry. So there are several keywords for, the kind of business, the kind of industry you have. So your website must be properly optimized for those keywords so that you will rank in search engine when people search their problems. And then the next one is that that is connected to website is register for Google My Business. So for Google My Business, you don't need to have a website before you register for Google My Business. So as long as you have a business, you can register for Google My Business. And Google My Business also helps to, it shows your physical location because you will do verification. They will verify that your physical office is where you say it is and all that. It also helps when people search for a kind of service online or a kind of product. If you have Google My Business registered, you see it's part of when you search for something, especially when you search for a service, it's part of the listings that usually comes up. You see them, Addis Beauty Spa. We open 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Chin Chon Restaurant. You see them, they open, you see all these listings on Google, and it also helps to increase all these things are what will increase your sales. You really want to do well online, you do all these things. E-commerce has come to stay. It is now left to you to position yourself. Out of all the billions of dollars that pass through people's hands all over the world, how many of it, or how much of this amount is coming into your bank account? So you must be poised to take advantage of all the many benefits that e-commerce has to offer.
All right. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this.
You're welcome.
So we've gotten a very insightful look on what e-commerce is really like. So as you previously said, e-commerce comes in models such as B2B, which is business to business, B2C, which is business to customer, C2C, which is customer to customer, and C2B, which is customer to business. And as you said, an example of a B2B business is a business that expects its customers to be mainly businesses, such as, yes, of course. And a B2C customer is a regular business in which your clients are regular customers and not other people with businesses. And of course, this takes different forms. So I would like us to hone in a little bit on this part where you talked about what we need to do on the website. Of course, you said we need lead generation, we need lead follow-up. And let me just recap a bit of what you said. You said for lead generation, of course, as you said, lots of websites already do lead generation. And to do lead generation, of course, you have to give something and collect details of people. And of course, those details of people you do collect eventually do become your leads. Am I correct?
Yes, very correct.
Yes, and of course, eventually when you do have those leads, and those leads can be in form of perhaps an email, and if you do have those leads, say you have somebody's email, maybe by giving them a free report, by giving them a free PDF or something, you have to follow up those leads, and you need to use a platform such as MailChimp, the Trainers Kit, and other platforms. You have to use them to follow up on those leads and eventually close those leads. Is that right?
Yes.
So I would want you to shed more light because I do notice for most e-commerce sites, lead generation, lead follow-up, and eventually closing these leads is a big part of how most e-commerce operations eventually become profitable. So can you give us a really good example of how it would work? For example, if I had a small business, say let's say I have a small law firm, for example. Let's say I have a law firm. I'm looking for law clients. I'm looking for legal clients. So how would you advise me to do my lead generation and
Okay.
to also do my lead follow-up in order for me to eventually get clients?
Okay, so the first thing you want to do in lead generation is you want to identify, um so you want to, what is your end goal? That is the first question you want to ask yourself. When you generate a lead, what is your end goal with that lead? You want to offer them a service. So what particular service do you want to offer them? So there's this thing that works well in marketing, and that is no matter how many different kind of services you offer and all that, when you are marketing, don't market 5 products or 5 services together at the same time. Always give people a focus. So you market in, so you might have like tranches, or how do I put it, or pipelines, in which you do your marketing and all that. You just ensure that you're passing across one message in one marketing, ensure you're passing across one message, one information in one marketing message. So as a lawyer, for example, you have a law firm, you want to market your, let's say you have a business registration service, or you defend, I don't know so much about law. So I really don't know which of the, but whatever
Yeah,
it is, you pick
yeah.
one, you identify your end goal for that thing, and then you think about it. What is the major problem that people have when it comes to this particular problem that I want to help them solve? This is the problem I want to solve for these people. This is the problem I want them to pay me to solve for them. But how will this problem, how does you identify, how will this problem start for these people? Then you think about it. What is the quick win that I can give them? Can you solve out of that major problem? Can you break it down into other simple problems? Like one problem can have 10 children. You understand? Pick one, you understand, of the problems that you've broken a major problem into small bits. Pick one of them and think about is that if I give my audience, if I give them a quick win with this one problem, I solve this one problem for them for free, will they be more tuned to considering me to solve the bigger problem for them? So if you solve a smaller problem for them, will they want you to solve a bigger problem for them? And will they be willing to pay to get the bigger problem solved? So your lead generation, there's something we call a lead magnet. So that is something to attract your leads. It is the solution to this. So you package it. I don't know how you want to package it. You want to package it into a video, or you want to package it into an ebook, or you want to package it into a free consultation session. Anyhow you want to package it, just package it and offer them a quick win. So if you can give them a quick win, before they can collect that quick win. So when you're driving your traffic from whatever platform you're driving traffic, or you're driving visibility to your brand, what you want to show first to them is that, oh, I can give you this quick win. Sign up to get it. When they sign up to get it, if I don't have a problem that needs the kind of solution your quick win is going to give to me, I will not sign up, because I am not your audience. So I will just walk up past. Even if I see it, I will go. So you see, what this thing will be able to do for you is it helps you to qualify your prospects. Because, the World Wide Web, online and everything is so wide. You really don't know who needs your service or who doesn't. Having a lead magnet helps you to qualify your leads. And you know that for this person to say they want this small quick win that I want to give them, it's because they have legal problem. They need a lawyer in their life. You understand? So that would be a very good example of, generating leads.
All right. All right. That's very good. That's very good. So if you were not here when she was talking about it, basically to generate leads, you need to figure out what your target audience would most likely need and something that can be a quick win for them. And you offer that thing in form of possibly a video, possibly a document that can be given in exchange for something like an email. Now, if you do have this email, you can follow up later and you can eventually land them as a client of yours. Did I get it right?
Absolutely.
All right. So let me do a quick recap as well. You talked about search engine optimization, and that's basically the work that you have to do to get yourself noticed in front of in a search engine. That's
Yes.
basically all the work you need to do to put your website in front of a search engine,
Yes.
because if nobody sees your website, of course, you have no customers. So you do need search engine optimization, and you do need to register for Google My Business if you are online and you want to make yourself noticed by people, especially on a big search engine like Google that is used by almost everybody. It's important you go on Google My Business. You can literally Google My Business right now, and you can find out how to get your business on there. It's free publicity, and as far as people are near you searching for something, they'll be able to see you. Okay, so I would like to know, does anybody in the audience have a question they would like to throw to Mrs. Mayowa before I head to my other list of questions? If you would like to ask a question to Ms. Mayowa, I'd like you to raise your hand so that I can have you on video and you can ask your question. So is there anyone? Is there anyone very quickly? Very quickly. Okay. Let me choose Oluwaseyi. Um, Oluwaseyi. Um, Oluwaseyi, you're free to begin a video and ask your question. Oluwaseyi, are you there? Oluwaseyi. Okay. Let me move to Joy. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Hold on. Joy, can you hold on real quick? Okay, Oluwaseyi, please quickly in 30 seconds, kindly ask your question.
Okay. What I want to ask is that how does search optimization really work? Because
Sorry, we can't hear you clearly.
sorry, are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Please go on with your question in 30 seconds, please.
What I said is that how does search engine optimization work, like SEO? Because I tried to use it on some social media, but I've not really gotten enough results like I wanted to. Is there any special thing to know about search engine optimization which I've not known about? Because it has been giving me concern about how we can use it to promote brands and all that.
Okay, that's well received. Thank you very much, Oluwaseyi. Thank you very much. I would like Ms. Mayowa to give us a brief rundown on SEO. So can you please give us maybe a brief rundown on what SEO is like?
Well, search engine optimization involves a lot of things because there is a lot of competition. There are many of you, competing to show on the first page of Google. Many people, when they search for things on Google, hardly will you see somebody go to the second page or the third page. Maybe some people don't even know that when you search for something, you have like almost hundreds of pages that has that information. It is just that only few of them are good enough to be shown on the front page. of Google. And that is what search engine optimization is all about, that you optimize your content. So what Google is serving on their first page is content. Remember that Google is also a business. And when they want to serve their audience, their own customers, which is you and I, searching on Google, they want to serve us and ensure that when we search for something, we get the best results, the best content about that particular thing. So the first place you will start with when you want to do search engine optimization is your website has to be, you have to put a lot of content, relevant content, not just any kind of content. Relevant content on your website. The content has to be optimized for keywords in your industry. So what are the keywords that people will use to search for things in your industry? It means that when you're writing your content, you have to optimize for that keyword. Is your website developed for SEO, like your title tags, your headline and all that? Are they SEO compliant? Then how is your website relating with other websites in the same niche and other complementary websites? So that is to say, do you link? Is there internal and external link? Like, for example, in your own content, within your content, do you link to other important content? Outside, do you link to other content from other websites? If you link to other popular websites, Google translates that as saying that, oh, this website is credible for it to be linking to this other website. So there are so many other things. That is just a tip of the iceberg in some of the things you can do to optimize search engine, to optimize your website for search engine.
All right. Thank you so much, Mayowa. So basically, what she said is you have to, complete the checklist of things to be done for search engine optimization. You have to think about what keywords your potential clients or people who would search for you would want to search for. If you run legal services, you can optimize for people to search for legal services, and you can create, when you are writing the words on your website, you can write to optimize for that keyword. And if you do any other kinds of services, or if you sell any kinds of products, you should put the right words, and you should do external linking. When it comes to SEO, it's a whole full topic of its own that obviously can't be exhausted in one day. But you do need to dot your I's and cross your T's, and actually have a full checklist of things to do and then implement, just like Mayowa said. Okay, so let's take one more quick question from Miss Joy. Miss Joy, I'm going to ask you to start your video now. You can ask your question now if you're still available.
I'm coming. Hello?
Hello, Joy, I can hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Miss Joy.
Okay,
Please
good
quickly
evening.
ask a question.
Okay, I want to ask, can you use a landing page in place of website? That's my question.
Okay, so you're basically talking about replacing a full website with just one single landing page. All right.
Yes, it's advisable.
All right.
Yes.
That's good. Maya, will answer your question.
Yes, you can. From a marketing point of view,
Okay.
Actually, when you're marketing, for example, you're running paid traffic, it is advisable to drive the traffic to a landing page rather than a website. On a website is for general information and all that. When people go to your website because you're trying to sell a particular service and they see so many other things, they get distracted. But when you send them to just the landing page that has only that information in it, then you stand a chance of winning over more of them.
All right, that's good. So basically, as you said, the use for a landing page is because you can go straight to the point in a landing page, because most people going to a landing page are going there for a specific interest, of course, rather than a website where there are lots of other distractions, right?
Yes.
All right, so let's take some questions that were submitted previously. Let's quickly take out some of the more interesting questions. Number one question, can I start the e-commerce business reaching out globally to get clients without having products on ground?
Well, there is a business model for that called drop shipping.
All right,
So
I
you
would
can
like
sell,
to, okay, continue.
you can sell other people's products. You can sell, you don't have to
Okay,
stock your own products. You can sell other people's products. And when you receive an order, you send the order to them and they fulfill the order for you.
okay. Can you give like just a maybe short example of how that works and how people do it in Nigeria?
Okay, so you can decide to do it on a global level. You can do it even on a local level in Nigeria. On a local level would be you approaching a business that stocks this kind of products and you tell them, oh, I want to start selling your product. So this particular thing, this cup, you sell it for 5,000 naira. Um, please give me a discount on it. So if they say, oh, because you'll be bringing markets now, oh yeah, take it for 4,000 naira. And then you go on your page and you sell it for 5,000 and you tell people, you won't tell people that you are not stocking it, of course. So you just say, oh, I'm selling this cup. Or you put the picture and everything, you market it and you sell it for 5,500 naira. So when they pay to you, you send 4,000 naira, their name and their address with shipping fee, if you collected shipping fee, to the company that you are drop shipping for. When you send it to them, they package it, send it to the address of the person that ordered. The person does not know whether you are the one that sent it or the company. All they know is that they sold this cup for 5,500 naira and they bought it. You pocket your 1,500, send the 4,000 naira to the place to the company you're drop shipping for. So that's it in a nutshell.
All right, thank you very much. So thanks to 21st century development, of course, you don't have to have physical products anymore in order to sell. You can use the drop shipping model and basically sell other people's products that are available elsewhere physically, as far as you have a website or you have a platform where you can sell it. So let's take one more question from somebody in our audience. Must you know how to create a website before you have an e-commerce operation?
If it is not your core business, I don't advise you to just hire somebody, hire a website development company. I do that in my company. There are other web developers that you can hire that will do the website for you. What you need to know is probably the management of the website when you have it, for you to do little things on the website without having to contact your developer. But the development of the website itself, except you are in the tech industry and all that, I really don't advise you to go and use the time you could have used to market your core business, which is selling of your product or services, to start building website.
All right, so that's really good advice to outsource your work. Definitely, like if like Mayowa said, if you are not exactly an expert in a field such as website development, it's more advisable to outsource it to somebody. So Mayowa, do you mind taking just one more question from a member of our audience who is raising his hand, Dr.
Right.
Mustafa? Okay, Dr. Mustafa, you've been raising your hand, so you have the floor now. You can ask your question, please. Please unmute. I can't hear you, please, Mr. Mustafa.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. So please quickly ask a question.
Kudos to the organizer of this program. My question is this. I want to know how, as a small business owner operating in a rural area, how do you know or determine the needs of these social media platforms that you can use to project or promote your products?
All right. So he's asking which of these social media platforms you can use to promote your products when you're in a rural area. Is that right, sir?
how do you know the mix? You know, sometimes you may have
The mix, which one you should use, right? Which
Yes.
one you should use? Well, I'll advise that you start with Facebook. Everybody that carries a smartphone, almost everybody that carries a smartphone is on Facebook. So as long as the people in your rural area also carries a smartphone, another question you should be asking yourself is, you may be in the rural area. The consumers of your products, are they necessarily in the rural area? So what you want to ask is, your consumers, are they in the urban areas or are they in the rural areas? So if your consumers are in the urban areas, then you can use any of these mixes. If it is strictly still rural, then you might want to use the most popular one, which is Facebook.
All right. So that's the way to go, Mr. Mustafa. So I would like to thank you very much, Mayawa, for taking the time to engage with us and helping us understand how to make the most out of e-commerce. We really appreciate your time and we appreciate the expertise you've given to us. So for everyone else,
You're welcome.
So for everyone else, TechBiz series holds every Thursday by 5 p.m. and you're always going to get a lot of value here. And subsequently, if you'd like to see recordings of this session or you'd like to get access to this presentation, you can do so by going to www.ecoicenter/webinar. And that link is currently in the chat box. If you check the chat box, you can see the link, ecoicenter/webinar. You can see all the previous presentations and more info about TechBiz series. And if you would like to join our community called the Tech Biz Nation, you can click the link that's currently there in the chat box and you can join our Tech Biz Nation community. There we exchange value and we are forming a community which is meant to share knowledge and give you front row seats to opportunities that you probably wouldn't get anywhere else. So thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much for everyone who took the time to attend this webinar. Thank you very much, Maiwa Adeoti. See you
You're
here
welcome.
next week, same time. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Bye.